AIpreneurs is a fantastic platform. They can help you build your webinar. It helps us generate $1 million. Transform your business with public speaking with webinars. Master public speaking, build your funnel, then engage with the audience and grow your business in literally under 30 minutes, really, really quickly. My first question is, how many of you here, type 1 in the chat, has done public speaking engagements before? Speaking on stage, presenting a webinar. Just type a 1 in the chat to let me know. Oh, we have a couple of ones. That's good. That's good. So Griffin did that and Nicole did. And how many of you feel like you are scared of public speaking? Type 1 if you're scared of public speaking. Carrie Ann in person, not so much in video. Yes. Not scared. That's good. Fantastic. Stan, Joseph, sorry if I mispronounce your name. Mina, Stan. Stan is not afraid. Okay, cool. Yes. So public speaking is actually, there's research about that. Public speaking is #1 fear in the world. So if you are scared of public speaking, that's totally fine. That's absolutely normal. The good thing is that you can master, it's a skill, so you can master it, yes? You can become a very confident speaker and you can engage audience and build trust and build credibility as you speak. And it's just all it takes is for you to understand the logic behind body language, the logic behind interaction, understand all these things, and then go and implement those things, right? So this is what we'll talk about today. Okay, but before we start, let me introduce a little bit myself. So I'm Tatiana, you know me as a success manager in this community. I've been with AIpreneurs for quite some time, but also previously, I was a very popular public speaking coach. I used to live in China. I used to coach a lot of people on public speaking, giving them a lot of confidence. But my journey started, funny enough, also by being afraid of public speaking. Back when I was in middle school, I used to be terrified of it. I loved singing, but I used to be terrified of being on stage and presenting. So when I would go on stage, I would just forget, I wanted to sing a song, I would just forget all the lyrics, and it would be just so embarrassing. And so I decided that I really wanna overcome that. And what I did, I was just pushing myself out of the comfort zone, getting onto the stage, singing, being a host of many events, presenting, speaking, and gradually, I became more confident. So I've achieved a lot of success with public speaking. I was presenting on biggest TV stages in China. I was in one of the top Chinese public speaking competitions in China as well, being top 15 in the world, in the entire world. If you've heard of the competition Chinese Bridge, that's for the Chinese language. So I had a lot of success with public speaking, and I've given a lot of knowledge and coaching to a lot of people all over the world. And this is what I would love to share with you guys today. The picture you see is me on the Tiansu TV station, where I was performing a song in front of a lot of people in China. All right, awesome. So my coaching experience has taken me to different places. I've been coaching in China and New Zealand and in Australia. I've been coaching people all over the world. And what I noticed is that if you set your mind, if you do that, if you practice, and if you seek feedback, you can improve really fast. You can improve really fast. So this is the key. Practice and also seek feedback, because sometimes you do not know and do not necessarily see what are the challenges and what are the drawbacks of your presentation. So you would love to get the feedback from someone who can see you from the side. So that's very important. Okay, so today I would love to talk about one of our success stories in the community, because the whole idea of this webinar today is to help you gain confidence in public speaking so that you can run successful webinars. If you're in the community, whether in the free community or the paid community, you already know that running a webinar is a fantastic way to convert your leads into customers. This is a way for you to build trust, to build connection, to build rapport with your audience, and then being able to convert them into your customers and take them onto the customer journey, right? And this is so important to understand because we have a lot of people in the community who are doing exactly that, right? So we're helping people to build a webinar funnel or any funnel in marketing, and a lot of people chose that path to go down the path of webinar funnel. And I wanted to talk about Deborah today specifically because she decided that webinar funnels is my thing. This is what I'm going to do. And literally in a few days, she set up the webinar with our platform using AIpreneurs Business Lab, and she started getting a lot of signups and a lot of conversions, right? So she got 23 appointments booked just after running one webinar. So what could this mean for your business? If you run a webinar, if you show up as a confident speaker, and then you get a lot of appointments booked, and then you close a lot of people, and this contributes to the growth of your business, right? So what could this mean for you? So something to consider to moving forward, and this is what we'll be talking about today: public speaking mastery and how to incorporate that into the webinar environment. Okay, so this is an opportunity for entrepreneurs, for those who are building their AI agency, and for the coaches, for anyone literally. If you're also doing the affiliate for us, if you're considering doing affiliate, running webinars is a fantastic way to convert leads, and this is what we'll focus on today. So the only way forward for you to be really, really successful with this is step one, master public speaking. So develop confidence, yes, and then run effective webinars, and then convert people, convert your leads into customers. So this is the success pathway that we'll talk about today. So, does any of this sound familiar to you? Have you ever been struggling to reach your audience? You know, a lot of people are doing social media and uh, even building a webinar funnel. Have you had any technical overwhelm? And maybe you had low conversion rate, and also, of course, fear of public speaking. So, a lot of these things could be the roadblocks for you to run a successful webinar, right? So there are three secrets that I'm going to talk about today in depth that you need to master in order to master this whole webinar thing and show up very authentically and powerfully and confidently. So number one is overcoming fear of public speaking. We're going to be working with you today. I'm going to show you how to transform your anxiety into confidence, right? So this is step one. And then step two, secret two, is how to build a funnel. I'm going to touch base on this really quickly because today we focus more on public speaking aspect of it, but this is another important thing, right? You need to know how to build a proper webinar funnel to be able to get all those people to your webinar. And then secret three is you need to be able to engage with those people, engage with them on the webinar so that they feel connected and they convert on the webinar, right? All right, so let's start with the first one, overcoming fear. And some of you mentioned already for me in the chat that you are afraid of public speaking. So let's talk about this. I want to share with you 4 big strategies that I've come to use over 10 years of my practice of coaching public speaking that I found the most valuable. You can see them on the screen. So they are: acknowledge and label your fear, practice regularly, shift focus, and imagine success, right? So let's dive into them a little bit. So the first one is acknowledge your fear. That is super important. So what does it mean? It means that when you step on that stage and you feel really scared, it is really important to talk to your fear, to notice it, not to put it away or kind of trying to ignore it, but to face it. And a great exercise I like to do, and you guys can do, is set a few minutes before you step on stage or before you start running the webinar, and look at your fear as if it's like a separate person or separate being. Imagine it in some sort of shape or form, right? And just talk to it and acknowledge it and say, hey, fear, I can see you're here. I can see you are with me. And I acknowledge you. Thank you for being with me. Thank it. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for accompanying me along this journey. You are the thing that pushes me towards being a better speaker, right? So acknowledging it and accepting it. So that's the most important thing. And I would like to talk about the story of Michelle Poller. If anyone here in the room knows about Michelle Poller, type one in the chat. So Michelle Poller has a very interesting story. So what happened to her is that she was in the graduate school, and she was given an assignment of doing something about fear. And so she decided to put herself into 100 days without fear challenge. And what happened is she was doing every single day. You see from the pictures, she was like doing things she was scared of, dancing on the street, walking with a huge python on her neck, you know, jumping from the cliff, doing many, many different things. And by doing that, what she figured out is that the only way away from fear is through fear, right? It's through fear. The more you do it, the more bold you become, the more this becomes your comfort zone. And funny enough, on 100th day, the day 100, the last fear that was supposed to be the biggest fear of hers, guess what it was? Her last fear on day 100, what did she do? She gave a TED talk on day 100. So that was her biggest fear, and she faced it. And as of today, she's one of the best speakers in the world. She's booked for so many speaking gigs. She's the speaker, she's an influencer, right? She's the thought leader. So this is what happened to her in just 100 days. It shows that you don't need a lot of time to overcome your fear, but it also shows that you need to acknowledge your fear. And that's what she did. She acknowledged her fear and she faced her fear and just walking through fear. So remember, the best way away from fear is through fear. And then if we go back to this chart, another important thing is to label your fear, okay? So it's the labels that we give to things that predetermine how we feel about something. So if you feel scared about public speaking, it means that you gave it a label of, oh, it's scary. I have an anxiety. I'm scared. Okay. So I'd like to do an exercise with you right now, guys. Instead of saying, I'm scared of public speaking, when you step on the stage, when you run the webinar, what are the positive labels that you can give to that experience that can rewire your brain and reshape your brain and reshape your attitude towards that experience? Just type in the chat box. What can you tell yourself instead of telling to yourself, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I cannot do that? What are the positive things or the opposites even that you can tell yourself? Let me know in the chat. And we're going to try to relabel this right now with you on the call. Yeah. I have the knowledge. I like that, Jay. Yes, I have the knowledge. Remind yourself, I have the expertise. I'm competent. Exactly. I love telling people what I'm passionate about. Super. Um, some more. I'm perfectly prepared. Love that. Preparation is key. These are my friends that I care about. They want me to succeed. The better I speak, the more I can serve them. I like that. I love speaking. Very good, guys. Very good, guys. So one of the best labels that I love to use with everyone who I've coached before is it's based on the science. Actually, scientists have found out that when you feel anxious and when you feel excited, these are the same chemical processes that are happening in your brain. Exactly the same. Okay, so I just wanted to think you back on your first date when you were going out on the first date, right? And you were nervous, but you were kind of excited, and you had those maybe butterflies in your stomach, right? So that's the thing. Nervousness and excitement is the same thing. It is exactly the same. But why do we say that we're nervous instead of saying excited? The science shows we say that we're nervous because we anticipate a bad outcome. So that's very important for you to understand. Whatever you're anticipating is going to predetermine how you feel in the moment, right? So this takes me directly to the last step in here that you see on the screen, which is imagine success. I would like you, before you go on the stage, close your eyes and imagine in full vividness and details the success of your speaking. Imagine your body language, your confident body language. Imagine speaking loudly and clearly. Imagine walking on the stage, or if you are in the webinar, speaking with a lot of confidence gestures. Imagine your audience nodding at you, smiling at you, interacting with you. So any success that you can, all the details. And then pay attention to how you feel when you are in this success space, right? And imagining success will predetermine that you are excited. So I would like you to remember every time you speak, remind yourself, I'm not nervous, I'm excited. And then imagine success, right? So these are important things. Well, and Stan mentioned in the chat that you need to practice. He said that the label that he mentioned is that I'm prepared. And that's a very crucial thing. Practice regularly and make sure you prepare. Huge, huge misconception that, let's say you have a webinar tomorrow and you prepare the night before. No, it never happens like that. You must allocate at least a week or a couple of days to prepare for your webinar and to actually, hear me out, practice it out loud. Practice it as if in the reality. Yes? Not just in your head, not just going through the outline and thinking, oh, here I will say this and here I will say that. Why? Because if you do not have experience, when you do go on stage, you might forget things that you want to say. You might go blank. Your mind can go blank. These are the things that happen to people, right? So you to prevent that, you want to be practicing out loud at home prior to the webinar a couple of times at least, okay? You're also welcome to record yourself and check the recording, and you will be able to see a lot of things that you do not normally see, right? So record yourself practicing and check the video. And the last thing I would like to share with you guys today for tackling that fear is another tactic that I love to use a lot is shift focus, okay? So I will teach you this beautiful, beautiful technique. It is called the flashlight method. So what happens is that we have this bias. When you come on stage, when you are running a webinar, you feel like the whole attention, all the spotlight is on you, which is in a sense true because you are speaking, right? But this is the game that you want to play. This is the mental game you want to play. You want to take this spotlight. Imagine as if it's like a flashlight, and you want to take control of it, take it in your hand, and instead of shining it on yourself and highlighting yourself and lighting yourself up, you point it towards your audience. Okay? So you imagine yourself being now completely in the dark, and now your audience is in under the light, and you see your audience, and because you see them, you see their facial expressions, you see how they interact with you, you really focus on them rather than on yourself. You will be able eventually to shift focus from yourself, to forget about your worries, and being of service to your audience in the moment. And that's the ultimate goal. A great public speaker is always of service to the audience. It's not about them saying, oh, look at me, I'm so good, I'm the presenter, right? But it's being of service to the audience. Yes. So to be interesting and to be interested. Yes, Griffin, exactly. Yes. Be interested in your audience. And you will see that the audience will pick up on these subtle little things, right? And they will feel like you're genuinely invested. You're there for them and not for yourself. That's really, really important. So these are the techniques. You're welcome to take a screenshot to remember this. And also welcome to share in the post as well, guys, right? If I'm just going to pop the link to the post again for those who just joined. If you didn't see the post, guys, we are sharing the insights in the community. And the more you share, the more chances you have to win one of our amazing trainings with AIpreneurs. Okay, so let's move forward. And secret number 2, we're going to talk about secret number 2. Oh, right. By the way, let's talk about the myths quickly. So it is important to understand there are myths about public speaking and nervousness, right? So some of you might say, I'm not a natural speaker. Okay, so the reality is that great speakers are made and not born. So remember that. And then another myth is webinars are too technical. We're going to dive into webinars in a second. So we have the platform. AIpreneurs is a fantastic platform that can help you build your webinar and help you build your funnel literally in 30 minutes. If you're doing this for the first time, in 5 minutes, if you're doing it for the second time, you're familiar with the process, right? And then another myth is that you need perfect delivery. So this is the thing that could stop you from running a webinar. Oh, I'm not perfect, right? You don't have to be perfect. You want to be authentic. That's the most important thing. And how do you achieve authenticity is by shifting the focus again to your audience. So just be authentic. You don't have to speak like someone else. You don't have to adopt someone else's style. Like some people say, oh, I'm introverted. I don't have that much energy. You don't have to have a lot of energy if you don't want to. You can just be authentic, speaking from your heart, and people will still connect with you, right? It's important to find your own personal style and approach to speaking. That's really, really key. Okay. And another misconception, it takes years to master. It does not. So as I mentioned, Michelle Poller was going through a 100-day challenge. She mastered all her fears. You can do the same with a bit of practice, and especially with guidance. If someone is highlighting your the things that you need to improve, you can improve. From my experience with clients, 3 to 4 weeks is absolutely enough to nail this skill. As long as you're repeating it, you're practicing, you're putting yourself on the spot under that spotlight. Okay. Awesome. So, and one important quote that I wanted to let you know, you guys probably know Ralph Waldo Emerson. So he said this amazing, amazing quote that I love so much. All the great speakers were bad speakers at first. I truly believe in that. Again, guys, this is a skill and you can do it. Okay, so now let us talk about secret two. Secret two is actually you got to have a webinar funnel if you're running a webinar, right? And we covered already that the myth is complicated. I want to give you a quick sneak peek into that, how it is actually, how easy it is to build a webinar, and to create a webinar funnel. So inside of our paid community, if you're a paid member, you will see that we have the $1 million webinar funnel snapshot. You have access to that. So all you need to do is just to click on it and to import it into your Go High Level account, and you have it ready. Okay, you have all the framework ready. And why do we call it $1 million webinar funnel? This is because this funnel, this is our funnel we're sharing with you. It helped us generate $1 million. So when we launched it, we had 90% conversion rate for this webinar funnel. It means that out of 100% of people who opted in for the webinar funnel page, 90 people signed up for the webinar. So what could this mean for you? And why, by the way, why did it work so well? It works so well because we were modeling the best funnels, okay? And our platform is all about modeling. So we give you the snapshot, which is like the frame, and then you can model with the software. You can model with the AIpreneurs Business Lab, right? So this is our AIpreneurs Business Lab. Just to give you guidance where you need to go, if you already are a member of this lab, you want to go to the funnels. Yes. And actually, you want to go to the modeling tool right here, modeling. And so what happens here is you select your business, right? So let's say I select AIpreneurs, you create your business context about your business, and then you add in the funnel that you want to model, add the funnel you want to clone, right? And we can tell you what funnel we were modeling. We were modeling Russell Brunson's webinar funnel because he generated 3 million in just one webinar with that webinar funnel. So this is what you can model. And then you put all the text in here, which is the text and copy of someone else's funnel, right? But then what the software is going to do, it is going to rewrite that with your business context in mind, with your offer in mind, with whatever you're trying to sell at a webinar, it's going to create that for you, right? So it's literally 2 clicks. Click number 1, you import the snapshot that I mentioned here. Yes, you import the snapshot, and click number 2, you create the copy with the lab, with the lab over here in this modeling tool. So this is just something for you to understand how easy and advanced you can be with AI. It's literally, it takes minutes to create your webinar funnel. Absolutely easy. Okay, and then once you've created the funnel, you also want to create a webinar. So as a public speaking coach, we will not dive into that really deeply today, but what I was doing prior AI era, I'm going to tell you what I was doing. When I had clients and I was coaching people for TED Talks, for huge public speaking gigs events, right? Atina was also speaking in China, but prior AI was there. What we were doing is we were trying to figure out, okay, what's your main message? Because it's important to understand what's the message that you would like to get across to your audience. Then pinpoint as a core, and then work with the client to build their message around that core that we identify. So writing a good speech, guys, don't get me wrong, writing a good speech takes ages. I'd like to give you an example of Barack Obama. You guys know his speech, and everybody says a speech that made him a president, right? A speech that made him a president. So, but that speech, he did not get the success overnight. That speech was written and rewritten and millions of times. If you read his biography book, Barack Obama's book, he mentioned how hard they worked on that copy of that speech. It's hard to write the script for the speech. It's really hard, especially if you want to land the message to land. And now I'm so grateful that we have this software, we have AI, because what we have in this software is we have this webinar tool that if you guys have access to the software, you can check it out right now, webinar tool. And this webinar tool writes your entire webinar for you, your script, word for word. And that one is based on Russell Brunson's webinar formula. It's so good. By the way, today's webinar is also written by this tool. It took me literally 10 minutes to prepare the entire content for today, right? So I have the knowledge and expertise with public speaking, but to be able to outline it into a webinar that converts, that helps people, that helps me to connect with you guys, it's difficult. It's really hard. So this is really a game changer. It's so good. So if you're going to run a webinar, definitely use this webinar tool. All right, awesome. So let's get back to the presentation. And this is the secret number 2, which is pretty straightforward and very easy. It's just a few clicks, right? So getting back to Deborah. So her outcome with webinar funnel that she created in 31 days, she earned 57K. And this is your potential there, because you are not spending time on writing a webinar, perfecting a webinar. Already right off the bat from the software, you get the webinar ready and you're just ready to go, right? So that's very important. You can literally execute tomorrow and start running your webinars tomorrow or even today. So some of the myths about webinars and funnel building. It is not time consuming because already now with AI, a good funnel saves time by automating repetitive tasks. And with AI, you can create webinar in seconds, webinar content. It is not complicated because AI is doing it for you, and it is not expensive. So previously, traditionally, if you go to marketing agency, they will charge you about 20 grands to create a successful webinar funnel, because if it is successful, it generates you, as you've seen in the case of Deborah, 57K in a month. So 20K is a no-brainer for people to charge for a webinar. But for you with the software, and if you are in the community, you can do it for literally no cost, as many times as you want, for as many webinars as you want. If you're running an agency, you could just be offering the webinar services, right? I'm doing the webinar, done for you webinars. I create a funnel for you. I create the webinar content for you. I even coach you how to do that, right? So anything, you can be creative with these things. But literally, you can, there's no limit to what you can create with AI at the moment, right? So Yes, Griffin, I'm Jack's immense curiosity. And he finally got a different link that did work from email. Fantastic. I'm glad everything is working and coming back to place. So yes, so all these myths, right, about funnel building that is complicated. Now with AI, it is absolutely possible and achievable. And look at Dab. When she joined the community, she had no technical background whatsoever. Look what she accomplished in 30 days. And this can be you too, right? Okay, so now I would like to talk about the funnel truth, that building a webinar funnel is simple and it's the key to running successful webinars, right? So it's a recap for us, something to remember. Okay, and the last secret that I would like to dive a little bit deeper on today is engaging your audience. So now you've overcome your anxiety, you've built a funnel, you've written your webinar script, you've practiced it, right? You're ready. You're ready to go and present it. So the success of your presentation depends a lot on how you engage with the audience. So let me know in the chat, guys, how would you engage with your audience? What are the engagement approaches and tactics and tools that you're aware of and you think that you would be using in your presentation? Just let me know in the chat. I love the audience today. Everyone's so active. Corey, ask questions. I love that. Fantastic. Anything else? Besides asking questions is fabulous. Asking questions is so good. I love asking questions because when you ask questions, when you hear a question, your brain automatically wakens up and it seeks for the answer, right? So it kind of like wakes up your audience and gets them engaged. So it's automatically engagement. Jay, start by outlining the problem you are going to talk about. Interesting, Jay. Why do you think this will help you with engagement? The outline of the problem. You're welcome to unmute yourself and let us know.
I was thinking that if you're outlining, like you're there to talk about something, it's generally about changing some kind of belief or something like that, perhaps. And so if you're outlining what that is to start with, you are bringing in people that hold that belief already. I mean, and you would also, I mean, asking questions, absolutely, and you would use that tactic to ask questions. Do you believe this, or is this how you feel, or those sorts of things? Yeah.
Absolutely. I like it, Jay. And I would like to add on top of it, when you start your speech and if you give people the roadmap of where you're going to, where you're heading with that, people will feel like, oh, I know what it is. They will feel like they're not lost in your speech because they know that you're going to be talking about A first and then about B and then about C. So giving the outline is really crucial and it helps with engagement too. Because people are not like wondering, okay, when does this person gonna end their presentation, right? How much longer is it gonna take? So it's a fantastic thing. Thank you, Jay, for bringing this up. Yes. And Corey, make it pertinent, I guess. What is your biggest challenge? Yes. Okay, I love that. And I would prefer, Griffin, to kind of facilitate an interesting discussion that meets people's needs. Absolutely. So being a little bit flexible as well and being able to, you know, steer away from the script and because you want to ultimately serve your audience, yes? And if someone is suddenly asking a question or taking the discussion into some different direction that you did not plan, you may allow to do that if that's appropriate in the environment in the setting of the webinar, and be flexible about it. Yes. So yes, an incredible offer will definitely keep them at the edge of their seats. I love that, Stan. Fantastic. Acknowledge and put them at ease. Good job, guys. Fantastic. So what I would like to focus on today is that because as a speaker, people judge you in a matter of split seconds, right? People judge you. And what do they judge you on when you show up as a speaker? They judge you on a couple of things. So the first thing that they look at is your body language and your vocal variety. I'm also going to talk about storytelling, right? But let's dive into body language first. I love body language. I think this is so beautiful. This is one of my favorite topics. Your body speaks so much more than you think. So according to research, people get 70% of the information from you from your body language. And then they get the rest from your vocal variety, and only 7% of the information that they get comes from the actual content that you're saying. Can you imagine that? Your body language is the king. So I'm going to show you a few little tricks how to make you look very confident and credible with your body language. I'm going to show you 3 important gestures that you can do when you are running a webinar that can instantly make you look credible. So the first one is steeple. You've probably seen steeple. Some people are doing steeple. So this is the steeple gesture. So when you're doing steeple, what this gesture does is it actually, maybe I might actually stop sharing my screen so you can see me better. So steeple evokes a lot of trust and credibility. If you are sharing some data, some science, some evidence behind it, using steeple is really cool because it makes you look really credible and trustworthy. However, make sure that when you're using steeple, your whole body is moving, right? So you're moving up and down a little bit when you speak. Also with the steeple, you don't want to overuse it. You don't want to be using just steeple all the time because as with any gesture, if you're using a gesture for too long, it starts losing the meaning, okay? So you want to have the variety of gestures. That's very important. So steeple is number 1. Yes. And then another one is basketball steeple. So basically taking the steeple and imagine that you're spreading it out and holding a basketball in your hands. Basketball steeple is my favorite. You see me using it a lot. Basketball steeple shows that I got this. That's the meaning. I got this. I'm holding this in my hands. So it conveys, what do you guys think? When someone speaks with basketball steeple, what kind of feeling it gives you? Let me know in the chat. How do you feel? So let's say I say, hey guys, I would like to tell you something really, really awesome and incredible. Yes, Griffin. And you're using this basketball steeple. How does it make you feel? What's the feeling? Trust. Yes, Nicole. Anything else? How does it make you feel? Like, this is really awesome. I want you guys to listen to this fantastic, fantastic offer. Relaxed, happy, interested. Okay. Yes, that's very interesting. Thank you, Edna, for sharing. Yes. So most of the time, and if you analyze Barack Obama's body language, he's using basketball steeple a lot. So basketball steeple conveys, I'm confident. I know what I'm talking about. I got this. Okay, I got this. This is under my control. I got this. So this is a fantastic tool for you to use to convey credibility and confidence. I love it. And then the last one is open palms. Open palms. So let me share with you the rule of thumb in terms of whole body language. If you are doing the webinar and you see yourself in this screen box of your computer, what you want to do to convey a lot of confidence is taking up space. So that's the trick. The more space you're taking, the more confident you look, right? Because when you're opening up, you're showing, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm taking up space. So that's really, really key. And that's why I would love to talk about open palms and open arms, because when you spread yourself, stand, yes, just like that. When you spread yourself, you show, I'm not scared. Remember, guys, think about our ancient brain, yes? When someone wants to, like in the ancient times, when someone is approaching you and wants to hit you, what is your body going to do when someone wants to hit you? What are you going to do? You can show me. Those who are on camera right now, Stan, Jay, Kari, Carrie. What are you going to do? Let's imagine someone is approaching you, wants to hit you right into the chest. What are you going to do? You're gonna hide yourself, right? You're gonna hide yourself. So that's very natural because you want to protect yourself. Now imagine a speaker is coming to the stage and doing this. What are they doing? They are technically hiding themselves. They're technically protecting themselves. And this instantly sends the signal to the audience that they are scared. Okay? They're scared, they want to protect themselves. This is how our brain works. Our brain thinks this public speaking is an actual danger. This is how the brain works. So when you're on stage and you feel like you're scared, you will do this very naturally. And so things you will do naturally that make you smaller. So you make yourself smaller, you cross your arms, you start pacifying, you touch your head, maybe cross your legs, right? You cross your arms like this. So all these things show that the person is not confident, they are afraid. So what you want to do, even if you're scared, you want to trick your brain by the body language, because you know, and the science shows that our body and mind are connected. Yes, they are interconnected. So if you start with your body language, if you just force yourself kind of to be open, to take up space, not only you will look confident to your audience, you will also send the signal to your brain that you are confident, that you're feeling confident in the moment. So that's very, very key. That's very important. Duck and move. Yes, that's right. Duck and move. In a bear attack, you want to make yourself bigger. Exactly, exactly. To show the bear that you are not scared. Yes, that's right. Fantastic. Okay, great. So let's get back to the body language and to other things. So this is about body language, right? And I could talk about body language. I could really make a separate whole session about it. So, so good. But if you only remember one thing from today about body language is this: take up your space. The more space you take, the more confident you look. Okay, so that's important. And now let's talk about vocal variety. Vocal variety is key because this is also where your people get the information about you. In just a split second, they judge you, right? So your voice should be loud, very confident, and it should be filled with a lot of emotion. So the best way for you to achieve vocal variety is to actually, if you're talking about some emotion, you speak it with emotion. For example, if you're sharing a story, yes, let's say, oh, yesterday I actually went to that shop and I wanted to purchase that beautiful bag, but when I got there, I realized, damn, it doubled in price. I wish I were there earlier, right? So I had a feeling in the moment of that story, and whatever feeling I had in that story, in that moment, you want to speak with that feeling. That's the easiest way for you to bring up the emotions, right? But also think about this as if you're talking to your friend, to your relative. How would you share a story when you're telling your friend that story? So exactly the same way, share it with your audience, right? That's really, really important. So we already covered asking questions, and you guys brought this up. So asking questions, I love that. So I want you to ask questions throughout the entire speech and keep re-engaging, re-engaging, and re-engaging with your audience. So you see how I, guys, ask you questions. I keep asking you to put something in the chat, and then I pause and ask your opinion. I ask you to show something, like constantly re-engaging, right? So that's really key. It's not just you engaged a little bit in the beginning, and then for the rest of the webinar you're not engaging. Keep re-engaging. If this is the webinar setting, if you don't want a lot of people to speak because you might afraid that this will interact the flow, which is sometimes the case, just ask people to type their answers in the chat, and also make it easy for them to engage. So you notice how Atina very often says, put a 1 in the chat or put 2 in the chat. It's easy. Instead of typing out the entire answer, she already kind of gives the pre-answers and says, put 1 if ABC, put 2 if ABC. So make it easy for them to engage with you and interact with you, right? That's also important. And then the last one I wanted to share with you today for engagement is telling story. So if you might probably know that storytelling is a huge, huge thing. Being able to tell a very good story is so crucial. But what I noticed throughout so many years of my practice, that so many people, they think they're telling a story, but they're actually not. And it is important to understand what actually makes a good story. So I will share now with you 3 important elements that you must have if you want to share a compelling story. Okay? So the first one is there must be a character. If there is no character in your story, there is no story. Okay? If you just said that, oh, the weather was nice and everyone was having fun, That's not a story. So the main character, there must be the main character. So this is number one. Number two, there must be the goal. There absolutely must be the goal. So there's a character and the character has a goal. For example, as for me in the story, I wanted to purchase the bag. So that was my goal. So a good story always has a character who wants to achieve a certain goal. And normally on the webinar, this is you. You're sharing your previous experience. You had a goal, you wanted to achieve the goal, right? And then the third key element, there must be a challenge or an obstacle on that way to the goal. Okay? So challenge or obstacle. So in a sense, if we put this in one sentence, what is a story? A story is a character trying to achieve a certain goal and experiencing challenges on the way to achieving that goal. That's a story. If you're missing any of these elements, you will be just recurring some sequence of events, but that will not land in the shape of a story. Okay. So storytelling is a beautiful skill and it's beautiful to master it and perfect it. You can also use the software, by the way, to help you create a compelling story. I really love that. So you can use the webinar. The webinar helps you to create a story. So when you go to the webinar tool, and when you click on the perfect webinar system, you see that how there is the flow here, step one, step two, step three. So step one, which is the, step two, which is the perfect webinar intro. This is where the software is writing your introduction of the webinar, and it incorporates the story. The way this tool works, it builds a story about you. So you might as well just talk a little bit in custom instructions about who you are, what's your story, what's your journey. It's going to write your story. Story is fantastic to use in the beginning to build rapport. And that's what you want in the beginning of every speech and every webinar, to build rapport with your audience. Okay? Fantastic. So this is about the third step, about being able to engage with the audience. And also one little thing that I want to mention is, if you are not sharing stories, let's say you did not have time to work on a good story, another cool trick that you can use is ask people to imagine something. I love this tool. As soon as you say the word imagine, the whole audience starts imagining something and they are engaged. Is that correct? So the imagine tool is also really, really cool. Awesome. Let us move on to the next step. So there are also some myths as well. Some people will say that engagement is difficult. Yeah, so it's difficult to engage. So all the techniques that I shared with you, they are really simple. Like say the word imagine, ask a question, share your story. They're really easy. Yes. Another myth is engagement is distracting. It is not. If you're doing it properly at a proper time, and if this serves the audience, it's beautiful. So ask people to share something in the chat, ask their opinion. It is not going to be distracting. It's going to be adding a lot of value. And by the way, you can frame your audience in the beginning of the webinar. You can say, welcome to engage with me in the chat, but let's leave major questions until the end because we're going to have the Q&A session. In this way, you frame them not to ask very comprehensive questions in the middle of the presentation so that it does not disrupt the flow, but you encourage them to engage with you, with your content, with everything that you share. That's what I do. I love to do that. I love to frame people that there's going to be Q&A at the end, right? And then the last myth that we have is engagement takes too much time. It does not. Just a little bit of engagement, that's all you need, but it helps you to re-engage the audience so that they do not fall asleep, right? Okay, how are you guys going so far? Let me know in the chat. So far, is the content from on a scale from 0 to 10? How valuable is the content? 0, not valuable at all. 0 is very valuable. Let me know in the chat. 10, 10, 10. Awesome, fantastic. Love it. Thank you, guys. I'm glad that you love it. If there's anything you want me to cover, just pop in the chat so that I can cover it before we go to the Q&A session, right? Okay, fantastic. So let us move on. So the engagement truth, again, engaging your audience is simple and it's key to successful webinars. So here we are, guys. I would like you to transform your business with public speaking with webinars. Master public speaking, build your funnel, then engage with your audience and grow your business. It's as simple as this. And you've seen you can build your funnel, you can create your webinar in literally under 30 minutes, really, really quickly. Yes? So are you ready? And the question now for you guys, the question isn't whether webinars work, because they work, and we've seen on Deborah's example, right? But the question is, are you ready to transform your business through effective webinars? If you've been thinking to give it a go, give it a go, guys, because it's game changing. Webinars are the best way for you to engage and connect with the audience. They are the best. You could be doing a lot of other marketing, and we teach about that in the community too, right? Obviously, it also depends if you are more on the introvert side or extrovert side. For some people, it's just not that comfortable. But I know that you can get out of the comfort zone and be a very good speaker. As I mentioned, I was really, really scared of the stage before, and I've overcome it, and I enjoy being on the stage now. It's just my passion. So this is what you can achieve too with some practice, with some repetition. Yes. So our AIpreneurs Agency Accelerator, I would love to mention for those who are in the call here and who are not a member of the Agency Accelerator program, we have expert community. We have the powerful AI software that can help you achieve all of that. We have step-by-step guidance. So currently, by the way, our community is 5K a year. That's the annual subscription that we have. It's going to go to 10K a year, though, starting from April 1st. So if you were on the fence thinking whether you want to join the program, join now to lock in the price. The good thing with the Skool community is that if you join for 5K now, you will lock in this price forever. So even if the price goes to 10K later, when it comes the time for you to renew, you still get it for 5K. So that's really, really important, right? So if you were considering it, just definitely go for it, guys. And so what you will get community access, you will get the software. The software we're having separately now at the moment. So we're selling the software separately. So you can get that too with the help of us. We can help you sign up for that as well. Expert training, ongoing support, building your funnels, and just being very successful in making a lot of money, just like Deb did, literally in the first month of being in the community. It's just applying everything we give you guys, everything that we show to you. So just to show you the AIpreneurs and what it looks like, yes, the sneak peek. So we have a huge calendar. Just look at this calendar, how many events we have and how many support sessions, hot seats with Atina, and then funnel building support with Goose, and then you can run your ads, set up your ads, improve your ads performance, and a lot of masterclasses and events. We had a guide to emails last week. We're having public speaking today. We just wrapped up a beautiful, beautiful boot camp. The replay is available in the classroom. So there's so many resources. It's just, if you would like to get to know more, definitely reach out to me. Happy to show you, right? But you got everything you need to succeed. And our customers and our members are the proof to that. So who this works for is entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to scale with AI. If you want to launch AI agency, it works beautifully for you because you get hold of the software and you can fulfill your customers in literally minutes. It works for coaches and it works for affiliates. We have a 50% affiliate program this March. If you refer people this March, by the end of the March, you get 50%. So the program is 5K. You refer someone, you get 2.5K instantly. You get to have your personal trackable Skool link where you can refer people, and if they sign up with your link, instantly the money goes to your bank account. You connect your credit card, your card or debit or credit card, you connect to it, and then the money goes automatically to you because of that link. It's that easy. It's literally crazy. It's nuts. So if you guys have no experience in public speaking, then make sure you join the program, because I'm in the program too. I'm the customer success manager. I work with a lot of people, and if you want to just work on the public speaking skills, you can book a call with me and we can do that, right? So that's really really very easy to get help on that as well. So what's included? The software, as I mentioned, and other things. And what you'll be able to get, you'll be able to build a funnel, engage your audience, convert your leads, and achieve a lot of success. But ultimately, you'll be able to make money. So what is your goal? How much would you like to make? 10K, 20K, or 30K? This program help people achieve all of this. We have people who just sold 20K program by creating a beautiful webinar. And then Deborah sold 57K, right? So a lot of success and a lot of things that you can achieve. So the problem is building a webinar funnel from scratch is time consuming. Now you have the solution. Yes. So how much time and money can save you? I was preparing for this presentation today. It took me literally less than an hour. So what I did is I wrote the webinar with the software, and then I created the slides with Gamma, as you can see, literally under an hour. Then I tweaked it a little bit, added a few pictures, like my picture, you saw my picture, right? And some of the quotes, I added those. But rather than that, literally under an hour. So it's insane. If I did not have that, I will probably spend about 10 hours to prepare such a huge presentation for you today, at least. It saved me so much time. And then in terms of money wise, how much money can save you? I already mentioned building a funnel, people charge 20 grand. So, and you can build multiple funnels for yourself, multiple webinars. It's just hard to put a price on it, how much money is going to save you, right? And 100% stress reduced, no stress whatsoever. I really, really love it. Welcome to AI age. It's so, so good. Love it. Okay, so that's the outcome. I'll overcome your fear of public speaking, guys. So build your confidence, practice, learn, get the community support. You can even practice in the community and run some sessions in the community too, right? So what is the cost of delay for you? If you're trial and error, if you running a webinar that does not convert, you think, oh, I'm going to write a webinar myself. You waste time, you waste money. Yes, hiring a coach, I was charging 10K for a package of working with people. Now you can get hold of me in the community, right? So it saves you at least 10K for paying for the coach. And of course our system, everything in place, building a funnel just saves you so much money too, right? So that's the key. That's truly important. And you will get really fast results as Deb, because she managed to literally in 3 days she already made 5K, so she got all the investment back, and then in 30 days it was 57. So everything is possible if you just put a lot of time and effort to it. You got everything you need in the community. And so let me tell you about the complete package. So the community access for 1 year is currently $499. You also get the webinar funnel snapshot that I mentioned, which is the value really difficult to put on it. We generated 1 million with that funnel, and you can do too. Public speaking training package, 10K, training with me. So you're going to get access to me as your success manager, and you can use those sessions as a public speaking sessions, and you also get a public speaking training video course from me that you can watch and consume. And you get a lot of templates and resources and everything that is included in the community. So total value is 15 plus K plus a 1 million potential sales and revenue with your funnel, and you get it today. So what if this was all you got, right? So just think about it. If all this did for you was help you overcome your fear of public speaking, would that be worth it? If all this did for you was help you run successful webinars and make millions of money with that, would that be worth it? If all this did for you is help you launch your webinar done for you service as an agency and get a lot of customers and help a lot of people run successful webinars, would that be worth it? If all this did was give you 2 or 3 or 5, just 5 extra clients a month, would that be worth it, right? So so you could keep staying afraid of it, of webinars, of public speaking, or you could decide to take action and to act upon the webinar. Take it, make it your comfort zone, make the webinar comfort zone. So this is your choice right now, yes? And the end result value, you get the wider reach, high conversions, and business growth. So our special offer for you today, the value you see is huge. It's really hard to put the price on it. It's more than 15K of the value. Our offer for you today, we actually have never done this before, is $499. You get yearly access to the community. You get access to public speaking training and coaching, and you get access to me as your success manager to help you work in a webinar if this is something you would like to do. Yeah, so these are your savings. So I'm just going to pop the link in the chat if some of you would like to join the program and would like to get hold of these bonuses. So these bonuses are going to be available only for those who joins on the call. So let me know, message me if you have just signed up for this, right? Because this public speaking package is really something that we've been working on for a long time. And we would love to help you run successful webinars. And if you would like to get hold of me as your success manager, as your public speaking coach, it is available right now, right now. So if you were considering to join now. Let me know. I'll put you in my cohort. You can message me privately in Skool. You can message me here, wherever you prefer. And a reminder, guys, that our price is going to go up to 10K. So definitely get hold of this crazy, crazy opportunity. I can also work with you on your affiliate too. If you would like to refer to people in the next few days to get your investment back, because that's all it takes, 2 people. I'm happy to help you with that, to work with you on being affiliate and promoting the community and getting your investment back in the first few days. So this is it. This is the link to sign up, guys. And you're also welcome if you would like to understand a little bit more. We're running a lot of support calls in the next few days because our price is going to go up. You're also welcome to book a call with me to see if this program is going to be the right fit for you. Yeah. If you still have questions, you're welcome to book a call with me. So the software we're selling separately right now, it is 5K. It is 5K. But for you guys, what I would recommend, get into the community first. We work with you together to help you get your it depends on what services you offer, to help you get your first few clients, and then you can invest into the software, right? Because at this stage, even if you get hold of the software, you won't be able to utilize it really that fast, because you need to understand marketing, how to set up your funnel properly. We give you the snapshot in the community, so that's no big deal. It's a part of the community, not a part of the software. And then I work with you, help you build your webinar if you would like to do a webinar, or help you make your investment back with affiliate, whatever you prefer. And when you got your investment back, when you got a few clients, then you can invest into the software and have it as a full package. So that would be my recommendation. Can you give any insight into the Lab Pro version? What do you mean by insight, Carrie? You're welcome to unmute yourself.
Figure that out. I was just watching some videos in the community this morning,
Yes.
and it talked about the Lab Pro version, and it was really interesting, the software. I think it's very valuable. It seems like Atina was saying that it's only offered on special occasions, and so I don't know if that's an upgrade from the regular Lab version.
No, it's not offered on special occasions. It is always available there, but we do not sell it
Okay.
through Skool. We sell it through a funnel. So I will send you the link to purchase the lab too. If someone wants just to purchase the lab and get hold of the lab, actually you can just sign up and have a taste of it too. Yeah. So
Okay.
it unlocks a few tools for free, but if you would like to get the pro access, you need to upgrade. So with the software, it is available all the time. And if you sell the software to someone else as an affiliate, you also get the commission. You get the commission from the software. Yes.
Okay, great.
So this is a fantastic earning opportunity. And yeah, so let me know, guys, if you join the program. But now it's time for the Q&A. And I'm open to all your questions. You guys were amazing. I love the engagement. Thank you so much for being so active in the chat. I will just drop the link to share your insights again in the post. Remember that we are doing the lucky draw. So one person will win our best-selling course. Inside of the AIpreneurs free community. So just leave your insights and takeaways in the post to be eligible to participate in the lucky draw. Okay, so that's my takeaway to you. Your 2 choices: continue as is, right? Or take the leap of faith, embrace AI, and reach and achieve success with our community. Thank you guys so much.
That's cool. Been doing afternoon workouts now. Really? Yeah, because I'm doing
Is that a question?
now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think someone was on a call. So our guarantee also is that we provide 14 days money back guarantee. If you just would like to try the community, consume the content to see if this is for you. You get 2 weeks to try it out. So this is something important to remember. Yes, and the real question, are you ready to transform your business by mastering public speaking and running successful webinars? So we also have, oh, I forgot about the limited time bonus, one-on-one coaching. So on top of that, I'm giving you guys one-on-one coaching as just like a public speaking session, yes, for your webinar strategy. So this is what we do. So you get the public speaking coaching package, and on top of that, one-on-one coaching too. The value is 999. So let's get started now. Overcome your fear, master webinars, and transform your business. That's it for me today. Happy to see if someone signed up. Let me know. I'm going to put you in my cohort because this offer with the public speaking package is only available on the call. Right? So let me know, message me if you signed up. And now I'm open to your questions, guys. It's the Q&A time. So let me stop share the screen. And I'm open to your questions about public speaking, about webinars, about community, anything. Do you guys want to run a webinar? Let me know.
Yeah, I'm not really at that stage yet, but and like I said, I've done public speaking before. I've spoken in front of large crowds. I used to do like lots of drama productions, and I didn't really have any, fears about doing any of that. Um, but one thing I've noticed lately, and I mean, there's reasons for this thing. And did you have a background in NLP when it came to, if I understood correctly, if I remember
Yes.
correctly? Okay, cool. And I've mentioned stuff with hypnosis and NLP before. I just finished a training with that. So I've just started like practicing that today, like at the end of it. Um, but what I'm noticing, and yeah, you can use that, of course, to decode and figure these things out. Actually, the person who's been working with me has suggested that probably what's really holding me back from my voice is more complicated, she said, than anything else with NLP. She's like, you have deep, deep, deep trauma that you need to like purge. Otherwise, you're very likely to be held back. Now, I don't want to give myself a limiting belief. Like I can't do it otherwise. I mean, listen to me right now. I don't feel like I'm communicating badly.
No,
Um,
not at all.
but I definitely noticed like I held myself back, and there's even been some kind of like controversy in the main Skool community that I just like engaged in because I was very passionate about that in the last couple days. But one thing I'm really curious about is any kind of advice you might have in terms of like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't need to do anything. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I'm actually already good enough, and I've just had my awakening already. Like maybe this is it. But any kind of advice you might have about just, I would say, being awake, like being authentic, stepping into yourself, stepping into your power. Because I think that what I really need to do more so than these webinars is I'm still figuring out the balance. And I'm sure there's many other people like this if anyone's watching this recording later. Like the balance between, okay, what is my niche? But first, I'm just going to talk about my voice. There's things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
There's things that are important to me, and of course, you want to have these things aligned with an offer. The real thing that I felt was a problem before, at least that I'm sure you can speak well on, is like how to how to really be confident in your voice and just like basically step into your power. And again,
Yeah.
maybe I'm doing a great job. I don't feel like I have a problem with that at the moment. But there could be a little bit of that, because there's always fears. There's in NLP you use the meta model. What are your secondary gains that you have from being stuck where you are?
Right.
Things like that. So whatever you have to say, I'm here to llisten. I've blabbed on long enough, but there
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
something.
NLP definitely helps a lot, and you can apply it to public speaking. One of my most favorite exercises that I love to do with clients is, and you can do that too, is transferring specific anchors that you had into a new experience. So let me give you an example. So if you
Mhm.
want to be more confident with public speaking, and you experience that anxiety, so you want to transfer confidence from some other experience. So I want you to
Mhm.
close your eyes and imagine a moment when you felt so damn confident, so damn authentic. It is not about public speaking, it's about something else. When you felt
Mhm.
that. And I want you to really feel it. How does it feel in your body? Where do you feel it? Is it in your chest? Is it all over your arms or legs? Where is it? Focus on the feeling, right? Focus on that
Mhm.
sensation, truly feel it, truly enjoy it, and then multiply it by 10 times, by 20 times, make it bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and just just soak it all in. Just feel the confidence. Feel so powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel so
Hmm.
powerful. And as you're feeling it, I would like you to do your anchor movement, some sort of little movement. As you're feeling this so much confidence, do little gesture maybe. I love to put like two fingers maybe together. So that could be,
Yeah, I was doing that. I was gonna do that too. It's like the
yeah. And
heart anahata mudra.
right. And so what you're doing is you are anchoring this feeling of confidence with this gesture, right? Or with any gesture that you decide to choose, and you solidify it. So you do it a couple of times. Yes, you do it a couple of times. And then when you go and do a public speaking engagement, as you step on stage, as you step into your webinar, do this movement.
Hmm.
This movement is going to fire the confidence feeling for you, and it's going to help you feel that confidence, and you will feel really, really authentic, or whatever feeling you want to get there, you will feel.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of
I do think it's more about the big picture, like at least for me, and I'll cede the floor if there's anything more valuable someone else has to say, just like
yeah.
feel free to interrupt me, knock
And
me out.
also imagining future pacing is a big
Future
thing,
pacing.
right? Imagining success, imagining that you're running a webinar so successful, everyone's so engaged, right? You're doing a great job. It's like it's on fire. So imagining that really also helps a lot because you rewire your brain. Because our brain, if you guys know about psychology, our brain does not differentiate what is real and what is not. So when you
Hmm.
are imagining things that are not real in the future, your brain still thinks that it's real, and it already creates those neural pathways that help it to put it into the state as if it's real, as if you've experienced that before. Yeah, and I think we had Morgan who was sharing that with us, or someone was sharing the boot camp. If you guys were in the boot camp with us, someone was sharing the story about the basketball players who were like practicing shooting the balls in live, and there was a bunch of people who were practicing that in just in their mind,
Oh yeah, like
and
it's
the
like shadow
results were
boxing.
really similar. Yes, so this is the power of your mind. So if you're just future pacing and imagining, definitely do that a couple of times every day before the webinar. That's
Hmm.
really, do not underestimate it. It's so powerful.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't think it's the webinar thing, and maybe this resonates with someone else, and this can help someone else. There, I'm just trying to draw awareness to like it's not necessarily about the public speaking because I can do that. I think at least for me personally. You don't even need to address this. I can book a call with you later. We will probably do this. Stepping into that because yeah, guys, I'm in the community, and I think a lot of people here are. A few people here are at least. I know that for sure. Um, I I think it's more about basically stepping into the entire thing. Like when you're launching content, when you're launching a brand, it's not just the idea of having a webinar.
Right.
It's having everything up there. It's like I'm thinking about like, oh shit, my Facebook page is ugly. I don't want people to see that. I have to redo everything on my Instagram page. Like it's all those
Yeah.
things that drive me crazy. In fact, if there's one area I feel like I can shine in, it's the in-person stuff. Talking right now, it's fun. Like I love it. It's all this it's kind of just all the clunky extra work that needs to be done, which I'll say this. At least what you guys do can save time when it comes to working on those things, and you have a ton of great tutorials when it comes to put that stuff together. So I appreciate that, and I think Corey's chiming in the chat. I want to read that,
Yes.
but yeah,
No, no, definitely,
that's just been
Griffin.
my insight so far.
No, Griffin, I think you have a fantastic gift. You're very sociable. The fact that you wanted to run parties and do that as your business, definitely consider that. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
I'd love to get on a strategy session with you because we haven't done one in a while. And map out the plan. Yeah, and strategy.
totally.
Awesome. Okay. Wow, there's a lot from Corey. Corey, would you like to unmute yourself and share?
So confidence comes from practice. And the good news is you can practice just with yourself. You can record yourself. And I like to help people. I'm a voice coach also. And I
Yes.
like to help people make characters. Maybe they're a healthcare worker and they're holding someone's hand. They're giving them bad news. And so they want to speak in a softer, empathetic voice. But then there's a newscaster voice and a radio announcer voice. And those may be unauthentic to what you want to do in a web sales webinar. But by having some characters that have plenty of melody, plenty of changing of their pitch, pace, tone, melody, and volume, you can come up with a character that's like 8 on volume or 6 on volume and 5 on melody. And you can come up with different personas that are authentic to the message that you're sharing. And so good communicators take their audience on an emotional journey. And so having a palette of those that feel real to you, but that are very interesting and full of melody will really have them hooked. You have a wonderful voice, and I don't sense anything in your way. I put a note on there about declarations. I am the perfect teacher for my audience at this moment, and I love my audience, and they're greatly served by me. And just give your like really realize that that's the truth. You're on this planet for a reason, and you have something great to share. So just practice it and have fun with it, and you're doing great. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right on, Corey.
Thank you, Corey. Yes.
Thanks.
Sure.
So you see how powerful the community is. You can get advice literally on anything, right? And if you are guys in the community, you're just welcome to write a post if you have a problem with something or you need help with something, whether this is public speaking, of working on a webinar, voice, literally anything, right? Just make a post. Hey, I'm looking support for this, and you never know. Someone in the community might be an expert on this too, right? So this is a great thing to do. Thank you guys so much. So I guess this is time for us to wrap up. So if someone is interested in the alpha, I'm gonna hang out for another 5 minutes in the breakout room. So you're welcome to join the breakout room if you have any questions about AIpreneurs, the program, webinars, whatsoever. Because as I mentioned, our price is going up. So if you're considering, but you still have questions, you're welcome to join the breakout room. I'm going to create that. I will see you there. Otherwise, thank you everyone for joining today. And we will see you again in the community, either the free one or the paid one.